to another exciting episode of the Valkyrie podcast. I'm your host, Angel of Battle 07, and the holidays are right around the corner, and what a gift do we have here for you guys. My guest, ladies and gentlemen, Valkyrie's content creator, the very own Miss PIIXXELLE. PIIXXELLE, how you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing very well. Did you have a good Thanksgiving?
I did. I probably went for seconds, thirds, and fourths. So
Right? I know. I think
very well fed.
we finally got rid of leftovers. So I'm very excited about that. Because I can't handle being tired at work anymore.
I feel that. I was eating chicken today.
And honestly, just before we kind of get into our episode here, obviously we would love to thank our sponsors and our partners over at Gamer Subs. With the holidays right around the corner, now is a perfect time to head on over to gamersubs.gg. Go ahead and pick up a tub of Gamer Subs. Go pick up a new shaker as well. They just had an amazing Black Friday sale. So yeah, head on over there. Use code Valkyrie so you guys can get 10% off your entire order just in time for the holidays. So, Miss PIIXXELLE, have you watched any of our previous podcast episodes that we've been putting out?
I watched. I think one of them. I was involved for a different one. I think for Maz, but I only think I've watched one, if I'm honest.
I got you. No worries, and that's fine. We're just kind of picking up speed as well. So. So for those people that may not know you, this is the perfect chance for kind of our community to get to know people in the org and see them in a different light as well. Because sometimes when the content creators, they'll have like their favorite CC and they'll just watch them and not really get to know the org. And this kind of provides us a chance, a platform to shine light on all of our CCs, and not just CCs. We're going to get into like staff, esports teams and stuff like that, just because it puts the org in a different light. So why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
So I go by PIIXXELLE or Pix. I am a single mom in the military, Air Force medic. I do content creation for Valkyrie LLC. I am nationally ranked for shooting. I like crochet and old lady hobbies and reading. And I love anime and cosplay. So
Gotcha. That seems to be a common theme amongst the CCs. I don't know if you've ever noticed that.
yes,
Everyone loves the anime.
we have to stick together.
Oh yeah, 100%. And you know, and as the American culture has changed so much in the last 10, 20 years, you know, 10, 20 years ago, we were being shamed for watching such things.
I know.
And nerds were not cool. Now nerds is a cool thing. You know, it's cool to be a nerd.
Oh, we're having an uprising.
Right? Or we're taking over.
Demacia!
Oh. For those that may not know, a little context there, that is one of the sayings of Garen, which is a champion because I've just recently started playing League of Legends. I've always kind of like held off on playing it just because I never could get it, but they finally got me into playing it. Garen is, you know, obviously the only person I'll play right now just because I'm too scared to learn anybody else. But so, and that's a kind of a good transitioning point as far as gaming goes. And it's one of the first questions I typically ask all of my guests is, especially in the content creation or the esports world, what got you into gaming? Like, what was that spark that, you know, kind of captures your eye and made you want to, you know, continue to be a gamer?
So I come from a military family. My dad and my stepdad are both Army. One's retired now, but one of them's still active. And when he was deployed, I want to say number 3 or 4 over to the Middle East, they actually started doing USO and there's video games and stuff. Like I had played a few video games here and there, like Sega and stuff like that growing up. But I think what really got me into it was because I wanted to stay in contact with him while he was deployed, and he would play video games, the USO, a lot of oh God, what was it? It was something by Rainbow Six, but I used to play with my dad. And he would play, we would go and we would clear rooms, and he would always cover the bottom half, and I would be searching from point to point on the top, and we would go clearing rooms like that. I loved playing that. And it's something I carried with my daughter on this last deployment, her and I played video games together. We played Overwatch while I was deployed. So
Gotcha. It's continuing on the tradition.
yes, yes.
That's awesome though. That really is awesome, and that has to be like core memories, definitely. You know, because being myself being a veteran and being deployed and having like you don't have a lot of opportunities to contact back home, and the times that you do, it's so special. It's so special, and you cherish those because in certain zones, that may be the last time you get a chance to do it. And being so far away, it's awesome. But I'm glad you guys got a chance to do that. That's awesome. Now so you said Sega, right? Any other older consoles, or was Sega like in the battle of Nintendo and Sega? Was it Sega the winner, or?
No, I love my 64, but I remember having a Nintendo 64, and I remember having the one where like you had to take the cartridge out and just and put it in there and see if it works.
Oh,
I don't remember. I'm trying to remember what game it was, but we used to play that. Played a lot of Sonic on Sega. Played GameCube. It's just anything I could get my hands on. It was just kind of like, ooh, like, because I didn't know it at the time, but I had undiagnosed ADHD, so I had to do like little small quests and like see something through, and it was just I felt so validated afterwards. And I think that's why I still definitely stick to it to this day, is just because like especially story-based games that have like smaller quests leading into bigger quests. I love those. I'll eat those up.
and honestly, kind of around the Super Nintendo / Nintendo 64 era, Rareware was like the biggest one that used to do it, like the collect-em games pretty much. So like Donkey Kong 64, where you had to collect all the bananas, you had to collect all the coins and stuff like that.
Do you remember Conker's Bad Fur Day?
I know it. I never played it. I've seen so many videos of it and stuff like that, and I wish but again, I think that's Rareware as well. So they had like almost it's really like Donkey Kong, but like reskinned, like an adult version.
Pretty much.
Like
it's between that and Crash Bandicoot.
Yeah.
Like as far as like the character.
Oh, I got you. As far as what is it? I think what is he? I can't remember the name.
Mongoose?
No.
Oh no. Squirrel? Are you talking about Conker, or are you talking about Crash Bandicoot?
Crash. I know it starts with a W. That didn't like
a weasel?
No, wombat maybe. I don't know. I can't remember. I guess a bandicoot is technically what is called, what they call it. But anyway, we're getting a little off topic here. But yeah, I think I talked about this with Mitch and Key. We both kind of went over like our top 5 games, growing up and everything like that. And I think actually I think that actually came up in one of their top 5s as well. So,
yeah.
The only thing that sticks out, and I think it's probably the most infamous thing from Conker's, is the Almighty Pooh, or the Great Mighty Pooh, I think it was. What a voice on that.
I'm the Great Big Mighty Pooh.
Right.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. And so something that you mentioned a little bit earlier, as far as like playing with your daughter, as far as Overwatch goes, we know that you play a ton of Overwatch. That kind of is like the game that we like scouted you on. Obviously, you were a big. You and I met through Maz, and I think that's how a lot of Valk met you as well, was through Mazards.
Yes.
Heck of a guy, man. Literally one of the best friends I've ever met.
A bestie.
Yeah. And it was through Overwatch, so you're probably one of the better Mercy mains and support mains I think I've ever seen out there as well. So
Thank you.
What got you into Overwatch, and as far as like what keeps you going as trying to I don't want to dive too much into it as far as like me lead. I want you to kind of touch on it more as far as like trying out for the Air Force esports team for Overwatch and stuff like that.
Yeah, so first of all, before Overwatch, I never played first person shooter game. Like I never wanted to be in like a battle royale, like against other players. I loved PvE, like single player games like God of War, Horizon Zero Dawn, Ghost of Tsushima, Elder Scrolls Skyrim, all those
Oh,
like that I
such
could
a good
play
one.
by myself. I loved playing by myself. And then I got to the point to where my younger brother, I'm the eldest of 7 kids, so
Oh
we
wow.
use we use video games to like to stay connected. And my younger brother, or he got stationed overseas, and he's been there since 2018. And I was like, oh, okay, what are we gonna do? We can't like actually sit down or come over and like and play together. So we got to play something like, and then so we went through a couple of games, and I really, really, call me a nerd, whatever. I really loved the overall aesthetic. As an artist,
Mhm.
I love the character design and the smooth, like plushy look of Overwatch. And then I started watching the cinematics, and then I was like, oh my God, there is story here. Like, why don't they have a story mode? Why does it always have to be like against these other people that are gonna call me trash in lobbies? So I'll give it a try. And I started playing, and I really connected with Mercy because I am a medic. I really wanted to be good at Ana because Ana and Farah, and then she was a sniper too, and I was just like, oh, I really wanted to. Yeah, no,
That's me.
my there's a song that says I play Mercy because I can't aim, and that's a fact right here. Can't aim, so I play that. I've gotten a lot better, and I wanted to connect more with people, especially like being in the Air Force. I love being an ambassador for like community and connectivity and good morale just all across the board. And so when I heard that they were starting gaming league, I was like, oh my God. And then I tried out and got humbled real quick. But I also learned, like, we got coached by Natter, the
Oh
Natter.
wow.
So yeah, like I got a lot of good points from him, and I took the criticism, like constructive criticism, and I ran with it, and I've gotten so much better. And yeah, I love it.
That's awesome. And I really feel like that is a huge key for people that get better in esports is being able to take that criticism and then
Hmm.
use it to get better instead of taking it personally and kind of shutting down. And I think I won't say it's totally contributed to the military, just but I think that probably helps a lot of people that on the outside civilian world may not have that because in the military
Yeah,
they're all about breaking you down and then rebuilding you back up. So I'm sure you and I
yeah.
have been through a lot verbally and physically.
Ah!
It-
Keep pushing.
oh, dude. So, and I guess that's another good kind of transition point as far as, we'll still kind of touch on gaming also, but with your time in the service, and by the way, thank you for your service. We appreciate you.
Oh, thank
Um,
you, Angel,
I
for your
appreciate it.
service as well.
What was the, obviously with you, I guess being a military kid, you just wanted to kind of go into that lifestyle also, or did you feel like a conviction, a calling to be Air Force and medic and stuff like that? So what is your origin story, I guess I should say, with the Air Force and then being a medic?
Many years ago,
Yes.
30 plus years ago, um, a hero was born. No, I'm kidding.
The
Um,
tale of Naruto
so
Uzumaki.
believe it. Um, so I mean, as you know, I am a single parent. I had always, kind of beat around the bush. Prior to having my daughter, I went to military college, felt that around, decided 2 things. Was not going to go army, was not going to be an officer. Nothing against them. They're just not for me. And anybody who's looked at all 4 branches knows there's a reason why every other branch wants to hang out with the Air Force.
They have better
we're a
dining
li-
facilities.
we're a little spoiled. um, but so and not only that, but I've also had a tremendous passion in wanting to help people or wanting to be that person to be dependent on, and like to like, especially like coming as the eldest of so many children, as being that person that my parents could count on, being that person in class. I I've always been that person who thrives and who loves being that person to be counted on, and being able to serve people in that aspect, because like I serve this country, but I serve the people of this country. And like in that aspect, being a medic, that is at the core of being a medic. So I guess between that and obviously, like I said, being a single parent, I was like, okay, I'm not putting this off anymore. Aside from that, my brother was also looking into going into the military, and I was like, yeah, right. You're so like you're the golden child, you're the pampered one, the only boy out of all of us girls. So the day that you sign up is the day that I sign up. Motherfucker came back like 2 weeks later. He's like, I went to the recruiter, I signed up, and I was like, damn it.
Ah,
And then so I had to do it, and you know what? It's been the best decision I've ever made. So
that's outstanding. Well, so as far like with after, I know for my recruiting process, it was you go take, you kind of list out what you want to do, and then they go make you take the ASVAB, and then they say, okay, this is what you want to do, this is what you can do. So which well, I don't know, like I said, I don't know if it's the same for you guys because the Air Force is a little bit different. I know for you guys you have to like interview like a job position to get in, whereas like for me they were like, are you broken? No. Are you dumb? Yeah. How much? Oh, you're not dumb enough, come on.
yeah, because if not, you can go next door. There's the Marines.
Yeah.
My grandpa's gonna see that. He's gonna be like, oh.
Oh yeah.
He's a Marine.
I got you. Well, see,
but
and that's something that like the outside world just they will never ever understand the camaraderie and like the brotherhood between veterans. It's like we pick on each other so much because we're siblings
all the time. Yes.
But if you pick on my sibling, oh my, yeah, it's unless it's the Coast Guard. Everyone, you can pick on the Coast Guard.
No. No. It's no longer the Coast Guard. Now it's Space Force.
Oh.
The Guardians of the Galaxy.
That's awesome. So they're a department of the Air Force, if I remember correctly.
Yes.
So like the Marines are a department of the Navy.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So the Space Force, and that's an interesting topic as well, as the whole Space Force thing.
Props to, because I've met some people of the Space Force. One of my teammates on the shooting team is Space Force. They're a particular bunch, so it was interesting.
Did you always want to go in as a medic, or was it just kind of one of those jobs that were listed out and you were like, yeah, that kind of sounds good?
So I wanted to, medic was my first choice. Gotcha. Or no, medic was my second choice. First choice was security forces. Glad I didn't get security forces. But I came in open general, meaning that I wanted to leave ASAP, and so you go in open general and they pick from like a list that you give them of general jobs, and mine was medic, so they picked me for medical, and I was like, okay, sure, I'll roll with it. I'm actually like I mentioned earlier, I'm looking into retraining though, so gonna serve people in a different way now. I
got you. If we weren't rolling at the time, what if you want to tell the audience, so what are you looking into getting into?
So 2 options, either religious affairs, which is chaplain's assistant. I will assist in crisis intervention, being able to help and further that outreach to people, to bring people together, encourage wingmanship and everything, work side by side with the chaplain. Chaplains are amazing and are a powerful resource in the military. I personally can't think of a chaplain that I didn't like. And I know even in my rough times, my Chaplain Mullins, you the best. But all my chaplains were amazing. So either that, or I was also considering paralegal. I do have a strong aptitude for administration work, and I'm really good at memorizing and fine-tuning with details, and articulating different things certain ways. So Either way.
I gotcha. I know for the Army, well, actually, I think it's force like military wide now. Medics train at Sam Houston, or excuse me, Joint
Yes.
Base San Antonio. It
Fort,
was
so it's Fort Sam Houston is what we refer to it as,
yes.
because it is JBSA, but yeah.
So is that where you trained as
Yes.
well? Okay.
Yeah.
See, they were building the joint base kind of when I was there, but it was still just Army when I was still there. So
Okay.
it was Sam Houston at the time. Only Army medics trained there, and they were actually I literally saw them building the steel beams of the new barracks and stuff like that. So I've kind of looked at the new Google Earth of San Antonio and seen like
Mm.
everything they've built, and it is 13 years ago. It was totally different. Like
Yeah.
it was. I'm trying to think of a family friendly way to say this. It was a hole. It was a hole. It was a mud hole. But now it
Mhm.
like looks so gorgeous too. So I guess they got some of that Air Force money.
Yep. Just a little bit. Just like when we run out, we use all of ours for quality of life, and then we're like, oh no, well, we still need a budget for our jets. We still need a budget to, keep the mission going, and then they just give us more money.
Did you hear about the recent scandal coming out of Sam Houston?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think I brought it up the other day. So apparently, this student was caught cheating on NRENT exams. So they caught him cheating, and apparently it was this Word document that had all of the tests, and it had the answers to like each version of the test. So like no matter what version they got, they had the answer key, and this had been going on for like 3 cycles now. And for those of you that may be wondering what I mean by cycles, is like class length, pretty much. So like the entire class, like I think it's about
So like,
16
how
months.
yeah, I was gonna ask how long
Or
was
not
yours?
16 months, 16 weeks. Sorry, not 16 months.
Yeah, I was like, wait,
A
did
year
you
and a
go?
half.
That's how long it is, I think, for like ultrasound techs,
Oh
or
wow.
like if you do like a specific shred out in
Mhm.
the Air Force, like if you want to do X-ray, ultrasound, anything like really heavy hitting, then yeah, it's definitely longer than a year.
Yeah. So I know I have my favorite part of medic training. What my favorite had to be the blood lab. I don't know if you guys did the same thing or if they call it the same thing.
So mine mine was the we called it, oh God, what was it? It's now we do an like a semi-annual like refresher is
Mhm.
TCCC.
Yeah.
But it's basically when you go in and you're like in a scenario, like we have like this huge, like, I don't know, hangar sized area
Yep.
that's encased, and it's dark, and there's like smokes and flash bombs and everything going off, and you're sitting there trying to like help your patients. It really puts things into perspective. Like, I've been lucky, I haven't like seen combat. I've been deployed, but I haven't like seen combat or
Right.
anything, so I haven't necessarily had to deal with those kind of stressors. But it puts it into perspective of what some people might see, and kind of gives you, like, especially for somebody like me who just generally works in a hospital 9 to 5 type thing. um some of our patients come back broken, and we can't necessarily see that. So like, being able to see that and know that, hey, I'm good because I have the skills that if shit hits the fan, then I can help. And so all those aspects, I think that was my favorite part.
Yeah. So that's
And
the same. Yeah. That we call that. Or it was called blood lab for us when I was going through training.
oh, okay.
But yeah, so it was literally, like pitch black dark. You had like
Hmm.
flat, strobes going off. They played Rammstein like up to like the way above decibel. Like I'm pretty sure
Yeah,
that's where some of my hearing
it was
damage comes
so
from.
loud.
And we had the dummies and everything like that. So it really is kind of the best training you can get, because it gives you that high stress environment. Because when you're in school, you kind of have this very low stress environment. You're learning the steps, one by one. But
Mhm.
if bullets are flying and bombs are going off, it you got to have that calmness about you in the line of fire to be able to provide treatment. And obviously, we're always taught, first of all, neutralize the
Right.
threat, then treat your patient. But you
Right.
never know. And it really was a lot. And I've actually had the honor to actually train soldiers as well in TCCC, and it's such a rewarding experience.
Yeah,
Um,
watching him get it
mhm.
and like appreciate it, I'm sure.
Yeah, I know I had one. I'll never forget. I had this one soldier that just was not taking it seriously at
Hmm.
all. Like he thought it was just time off for him. Instead of going in training, he was doing this, right, and he was classroom environment. And I'll never forget. We were down at Fort Bliss, and there
Oh fuck, Forklift.
a lot of people will agree. Now, what I will say is their tactical combat casualty, their TCCC um, building is top notch
Yes. Yeah.
because the dummies are all hooked up to a computer, and there's a central station where they can control breathing, they can control bleeding,
Yeah.
they can control screaming, eyes blinking, and stuff like it is scary.
I've seen one of those dummies
Mm-hmm.
at Right Pat in the education and training because they treat those and here too because where I am on the West Coast, like this is a huge PACAF mass patient mass cas evacuation point.
Yeah,
So it's crazy. Those
yeah. And I'll never forget. We're in there, and in a train or sorry not train in a trainer position, you have to be hard on your trainees a little bit because it's not you're not there to bully them. And a lot of people
right.
sometimes they don't know the difference between bullying and like instruction, I guess is the best way
Mm-hmm.
to kind of say it. And so I'm always a little bit harder because I want these guys to succeed. They're extensions of me. And I don't want to ever have lose somebody on the battlefield or lose a patient, and I don't want these guys to go through that as well. So he was just kind of half-assing everything. He put a tourniquet on, and I came through and I checked it and I pulled up on the tourniquet and I could literally put my whole arm through it. So I ripped it off and I threw it, to the other side of the room, and I was like, "You fix it, do it again. He's bleeding out." And he grabs it, and he's just kind of slow, taking his time, just kind of giving me side eye and everything like that. And I'm just watching, and he does it. He does it again. I see he doesn't tighten it down again. So I come back, and I grab it, and I put my whole arm through again, and I threw it to the side, and I was like, "All right, you know what? You're done." I was like, "Go back to the classroom. Oh, by the way, I need you to write me a letter to his mother explaining why he's not coming home today." And I saw the color drain from his face because it never registered on an emotional level like that. Like, this is
Yeah.
serious. And I'll never forget. Like, I had to take him outside and be like, "Look, I apologize if that was too much, but you need to take this here." And from that moment on,
Yeah.
he literally took it serious. Like, he was my best student after that. It was awesome.
That's how you have to
Yeah.
look at it though. Like I mean, like I said, my family's military. I've had friends who haven't made it back.
Mhm.
I've been at those funerals and it's if you have any chance, especially being a medic, to be able to stop that, you need to take it seriously.
Yeah. I got real there for a minute. um. Okay. I don't want it to get too. I don't want to have you crying on here. One of the topics that you had kind of touched on was being a competitive shooter, and
Yeah.
and not everyone in the military loves shooting. I've been around plenty of people that actually can't stand it at all, but it is an important part. But there are a big majority of members that love shooting. What got you, one, the passion and love for shooting, and then transitioning also into competitive shooting as well?
Okay, so story time.
Yeah, that's what we're here for.
Pix Pix was in no, was I freshman? Yeah. Freshman in high school many moons ago. And I was dating this guy. We'll call him Bob. And I was so infatuated with Bob. I was like, oh my God, we're gonna be like that, the fairy tale story and everything like that. We're gonna get married and whatever. Um, and I was like, wouldn't it be great, Bob, if we spent more time together since you're on the air rifle team in JRTC? And he's like, nah. Shooting's for us guys. You can wait for me and stuff like that. And I was like, huh. And the coach, Colonel Cowan, my biggest one of my biggest mentors, friends, pastor, he was such a milestone in my in who I am as a person. He helped shape me and who I am today. So sorry, world. But then, he was like, let's give you a try. Never. I had messed around with like BB guns a couple times. I'm more of a bow hunter, specifically like when I go hunting. But he got me in there, got me settled. Within the first couple of weeks, I took a spot on the team, and we broke up not too long after that. That year, I won Rookie of the Year in the nation. Junior year, going into my senior year, I won Junior Olympics and won a full ride scholarship. And then when I joined the Air Force, I was like, oh, hey, by the way, does the Air Force have a shooting team? And the Air Force was like, join. Yes. Now. So
we've got to finally beat the Army.
I'm the first official female for like, I think, I don't know how many years. There was Chelsea, but she wasn't really like in there. I think they said like 12 years.
Gotcha. So
like
which weapons do you compete with?
So specifically, I do international rifle, which is your standard like Olympic grade air rifle, because one day I want to go to the Olympics. So air rifle and 22 small bore. And then for the high power team, because there's different disciplines, I shoot the M16, and which is custom built. Love my dual trigger. And the 308, and then I shoot oh God, what is it? The M1 Grand and the 50 cal.
I'm jealous about the M1 Grand. I've never had a chance to shoot one. I just want to be in the presence of one when it just does a ting. I just want to be around it.
Yes.
That's gotta be.
We recently found our old safe, the Air Force's old safe with like the original M1 Grands that they were just going to apparently melt down. And we were like, no, give it to us. And so now we have all those, and we're restoring those. And next year at Nationals at Camp Perry, Ohio, we're going to be sitting down with a pretty good bottle of bourbon with our old alumni, the original founding members of the shooting team for the Air Force, and a historian, and it's gonna be a great time. I'm super excited.
That's awesome. I'm so jealous. I'm so like, I would love to be around that kind of environment.
Hell yeah.
Man. I mean, you have a storied past. I will tell you, no offense to everyone else that has been on this podcast, but like your stories have been like just levels above. It's been awesome. This is going to be a great episode. I can already tell. I can already see Zach sitting in his comfy like hoodie and everything, watching it and being like, yeah.
I'm gonna go back and do my homework, watch the other podcast, so I don't feel like a dirtbag.
Oh man. All right. So we'll kind of put the military stuff on the back burner for now, because I don't want that to be like the main focus. Obviously, there's just so much. You're so rounded and everything. I don't want that to be the main focus. Obviously, we have picked you up as a content creator. So what kind of got you inspired to do content creation? Like why'd you start streaming? What kind of attracted you about streaming? And then I guess, yeah, let's go into that first, and then we'll kind of compound on that as we go.
So I I used to, at my old base, I was pretty involved with like my neighbors, and my neighbor, one of my neighbors who goes by Big Papa Bree on Twitch, she's amazing. She's over 6 feet tall, security forces, like built like an Amazonian, scares the living hell out of me, but she's also an amazing person. She streamed and she was like, "Yeah, dude, if you're playing video games this much, why not stream and, actually like make money doing it?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm a single mom. I need more money. I need more money for Christmas gifts so I can spoil my kids." So
Mm.
that's what I ended up doing, and I found that I could connect with people, and like especially so at work, I have to be extroverted, but then when I come home, I'm like but I
Mhm.
still desire to connect with people, just like it's so much more comfortable over the computer. So definitely connecting with them. And then at a certain point, I was going through a tremendously low point in my life. And I ran into Mazard's Mental Health Monday.
Yeah.
And just talking with him, vibing with him, and everything, I was like, okay, I could dig this. And then I found out about Valkyrie. I met you. I met a bunch of other members of Valkyrie, and I was like, I was literally just, sitting there waiting for my invite. When am
Yep.
I gonna get an invite? And then I finally got like, "Hey, how would you like to make this possible?" And there was
Mhm.
like a little screenshot of PIIXXELLE. I was like, "Oh my God." I was screaming around. So I was super excited. I was already like semi making content, but I'm definitely inspired by the people that I'm blessed to be in interactions with, like you, Mazards, and them. Sweet Tales is also a big influence
Oh yeah.
on me as well. Love her energy and everything. Love the passion, positive vibes that all of you guys bring. So I definitely wanted to be the person to add to that. And I'm looking for it, especially like Valkyrie's content creation team is working on like building blocks on helping their content creators grow and everything. And I'm just so super, super excited to be a part of this.
Oh yeah. I will never forget being in that staff meeting.
What?
So when we discussed kind of bringing you guys on or bringing you
Oh,
on, because we were in the staff meeting, and I can't remember who it was. I think it was Zach that was like, "So are we gonna finally make this happen?" I was like, "Yes, please, God, let's finally do this, please." Why? What have we been waiting on? And I think it was just because like everyone, we were going through a scouting process because we have kind of had some turnover here recently as far as CCs and
Mhm.
stuff like that. And the biggest thing is we wanted to focus on, you know, creating that. I don't want to be cliche and just say family, because every org is gonna be like, "Well, we wanted to create a family,"
Now you're
but
starting to sound like the military.
right. We wanted to surround ourselves with people that want to be here. They have a passion
Yeah.
for the org, and that they fit well. Like, if we show up to a watch party one night, everyone's gonna vibe well together as well. So we knew hands down. We were like, okay, yep, she's been a huge part of the org, and she wasn't even in it. She's been a huge fan of the org. She's been hanging out with the org, coming to watch parties, coming to Valorant 10 mans game nights and stuff. Now she's doing content creation. This is perfect. Let's go ahead and just finally make this. And I remember
Yes.
I had to keep it secret from Maz for a little bit, and that was the hardest thing in the world.
Because Maz would have been like, "Oh yeah, won't tell her." Pixel,
Yeah,
Pixel.
yeah. So like he would like say, because he and I pretty much talk almost every day, like on Snapchat and stuff.
Yeah.
Like he'll send me
Do
pictures
you
of
send
him at
him
the
poop
restaurants.
selfies too?
No, I don't do that.
Oh.
You guys might have a little bit more.
I'll send him just the audio.
Oh no.
Sometimes I'll drop things. I'll drop things in the toilet. He'll just be like, "God damn."
Oh no. No, but
We're
now
gonna cut that out, right?
no, Zach's gonna get you keep it in
Oh.
though, please. And Maz, if you're watching this, just know that I'm 100% now gonna do that to you. I'm not gonna. You're not gonna see anything, but I'm gonna drop like a toilet paper, like a big
Step
yeah.
charges.
Yeah, bloop. He's gonna be like, "You talked to Pixel, didn't you?" I'm like, "Yeah." But yeah, and I had it, and like he would ask me, be like, "How'd the staff meeting go?" And what's the word on CCs? And I have to be like, "We're still looking." But yeah, we were so happy to finally extend the invite, and we were very excited when you said yes as well, because we love having you as part of the team. You definitely bring a lot of energy that we were looking for. And I really love that the direction that we're moving in as well. Joey's doing a fantastic job as the CC lead, as the content team manager, really kind of bridging the gap as far as a figurehead to talk to the content creators and then come back to staff, and so that the content creators don't feel like they're just kind of out on the island of misfit toys, right?
I love it that he's so open to suggestion, and he's good to bounce feedback off of, because like he's obviously been with the org for a bit, so like me, brand new coming in, if I have suggestions, he can either say, "Yo, yeah, that's good," or maybe not, because we've already tried this or that or anything. And I totally get, and so it's a really good avenue and resource to have. That, and he gets it done. So.
Yeah. And I know that's something that, as far as like in the future, something that we've been working on is trying to come up with, almost like workshops to kind of reach out to the creators, and not make it mandatory either, so that people don't feel pressured to show up, but like coming up with like workshops on like, hey, what do you struggle with? Oh, I don't really put videos out because I'm not great at editing. Okay, let's maybe put you with somebody like Apaj, who's our phenomenal editor, and let's have him kind of give you like a 20-minute block on what are some easy tips and like entry level stuff, so that then you can take that, build on it, and then learn, and then it makes you a better creator as well. I just really love what we're building here now, and I can't wait to see the future for it. It's gonna be awesome.
I love that they took my analogy of house building and they turned it into like this map, and I'm so excited.
It's there's some things coming out, by the way. I don't know, I probably can't bring it up, but there's gonna be some things coming out here recently that was filmed. It's gonna be pretty cool. It's gonna be really funny.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
So excited.
So we finally got an update on that, and I know guys that are watching or listening on Spotify, you're like, what the heck, Angel? Why are you leaving us dark? Trust me on this. It's gonna be hilarious. Apaj is doing some great work, by the way.
He was.
And I really wish we would have had more people, because I wanted to like be a part of that more than just like the intro guy. But I hear that it was a lot of fun. So.
Oh, it was.
And I know I'll have a tons of
and
opportunity.
gratifying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I don't even know the results yet. Yeah, so I purposely want to like not know, so that I can watch that video and be surprised as well. Let's see. So, what are some things that you were wanting? Like, obviously, with your streaming, you've been playing a lot of Overwatch and stuff like that. If this is their first kind of introduction to Pixel, what can they look forward to if they want to come check your channel out?
I love positive vibes. I'm kind of in the middle of rebranding, redesigning to a more comfy, cozy, bohemian, coffee-friendly kind of atmosphere. I am a huge fan of comfy sweats and blankets, and just really chill vibes with the occasional me screaming and internal panic. And that comes out externally, because I have to let out that energy. Mainly it's because I'm trying to heal people from overextending. So if you're that Genji that likes to go into enemy lines and scream for heals, you are the bane of my existence, but I still appreciate you. And appreciation is also a really big part of my stream. I don't know. I just love positivity. I play Overwatch a lot, but I also vary between Valorant. I'm getting sucked into League of Legends. It's just anything that I can play with my friends, and I love building that community because I'm definitely a fan over quality over quantity. So if I stay a small streamer, I stay a small streamer. If you join my cult of pixels, if you want to become a megabyte, then feel free, dude. So, but yeah, real chill vibes, and yeah.
Is that your name for your community, Megabytes?
I don't know.
I
I don't
mean,
know.
maybe
It's
think
just
about
off the fly. I was
that
like,
was good though. That was really good. That was
my daughter's micropixel, and then like if I ever get married, that person's obligatorily gonna be megapixel, and then I got Papa Pix, which is my dad. Amazing. So
which we got to meet the other day. I was very excited.
yes,
about that.
yes. Coolest dude alive.
Very chill. Like it could be one of us. You like
Yes,
showed him on camera and
absolutely.
he was like, "So
I am trying so hard to either get him a gaming laptop or to build him an actual PC, so that way we can get Papa Pix content.
oh my goodness."
I'm just
So what you're
I'm so
saying is we
excited.
need to get you guys playing Tom Clancy's.
Yes.
Yeah. That
Just
would actually be a
yes.
good series. I feel like that would be a real, yeah.
Aw. He would be yelling at me the whole time. He'd be like, "Why'd you do that?" Oh, and then he would. So he used to be in the bad habit of like pulling grenades and like dropping them, and I would hear them, but I wouldn't see them because he'd behind me. He'd drop it and he'd run, and then I'd blow up. Oh fuck!
Ding. What was that?
Nothing. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I feel like that'd be an awesome series to put together. Like, so do you have a YouTube channel as well, or is it just
I
streaming
do.
right now?
I do. I though,
Cheap
and
plug.
especially like this is also this is also why I joined Valkyrie, so that way I could help, or I could be helped, and like kind of pick your guys' brains on like content development and everything, because that is part of being a content creator. And I am one of those people who's definitely gonna take Valkyrie up on, those classes and grow in that aspect. So there's like 3 or 4 little videos that I edited. I'm probably gonna take them down now. No.
That's like a cheap plug for like Valkyrie as well. So like any aspiring content creators looking for an org. No, seriously, like if, shoot me a DM.
Yeah.
We could definitely talk about it.
I mean, we don't have an Overwatch team yet.
That reminds me, I got to do some scouting tonight.
Yes.
Yeah, I got Shadow, our director of esports, is a phenomenal dude. He's done so much for the org as far as stepping in and being that kind of mitigation between the esports teams and staff as well. He's done great, so I'm looking forward to kind of building that relationship and kind of spending some time with him as well. I don't know if you spent a lot of time with him. Have you?
Just minor
Gotcha.
time.
Gotcha.
Just mainly whenever we're hanging out
Yeah.
and screaming at football games.
By the way, for those that maybe like today is Tuesday, we just watched the United States kick Iran's booty at the World Cup.
Oh,
Moving
yeah.
on, so huge shout out to the U.S. men's soccer team.
USA.
What a nail biter that was, though, man. Oh my
Yeah.
god. And you were at work the entire time.
Yeah, I was in the optometrist. Oh my god. I was getting my eyes checked because newsflash, I'm going more blind, and the dude, anybody who's had an eye appointment, they have that little puff machine. So I had the tech in tears. He was crying so hard, or he was laughing so hard he was crying, and I was sitting there trying to hype myself up to allow myself to get puffed in the eye. I was like, "Come on, don't be a little bitch. Just take it. Just take it." Ah! And then I would get there and I was like,
Yep. I I don't know how women do it. I can't. Anything that involves my eyes, I can't. I will admit, I'll be the first. I'm comfortable enough in my masculinity to say that I have allowed former girlfriends to like put makeup on me because they thought it would be fun, right?
Oh,
And every time eyeliner
mascara.
or mascara comes up, I can't do it.
Just
I can't do it. They're like, open your eye, and I'm like, me. I feel like I have my eye open, but like I've seen video where I'm just like, my eyes are like totally shut and they're flickering, and I'm like, I can't do it. I don't know what it is. Like eye drops, I can do no problem, but anything like touching the lid, I just hats off to you guys. I can't do it. I can take needles all day, shots, nothing, but eyeliner or mascara.
Shot.
I do. So I have to ask, with you being a medic, have you done immunizations to people?
No.
Oh,
Nope.
that was one of my favorite things to do as a medic, was give people like the flu shot or anthrax vaccine.
What about babies?
No, I didn't do any. So I was all
Okay.
like, it was just service members. I never worked in a clinic.
I was like, there's something wrong with you if
No,
you get
no.
enjoyment out of that.
No.
Those poor like 9-month-olds
No.
who were getting.
I never had a chance to work at like a clinic like in the States. My stuff was
Gotcha.
all Oconus. So it was all taken care of service members. But the big, I'll never forget when I was deployed, this big, I mean, just jacked up dude, right? Just massive guy, tattoos everywhere. My PA is physician's assistant, for those that may be looking for the medical term there. He comes in, he's split his he's got like an ingrown nail or something, right? And so she needs to do a nerve block so that she can cut the nail and then pull it out,
and
right?
Extract it, yeah.
Right. I have never seen a grown man like flip out so much over a needle. And like, he is jacked up, tattoos everywhere. And I'm like, okay, he's not going to be a problem. No, he is like screaming at the top of his lungs at this, like 60-year-old, just saint of a woman, by the way. Captain Sanford, if you're watching this, I love you. Thank you so much for teaching me everything. And she's she's just trying to do a nerve block, and he's like screaming at her. Like, like, ow, it hurts. What are you doing? And I'm like, dude, like, you're a baby, man. I don't know. I'll never understand it. Man. What was I going to say? Man. Holy cow. It's almost been an hour already. Good Lord. Can you believe it? So, man, I totally kind of blanked. I love having ADHD as well. I had everything. I should have written it down. I had everything kind of like in order of like topics I wanted to talk about, and then the last one now has just completely lost me. Yeah. Ugh.
Now we sit here in awkward silence.
Yeah, so we'll just stare at the cam. For those of you that are listening on Spotify and not watching, this is probably kind of awkward as all get out. It's just radio silence now. So I guess we'll go ahead and start kind of getting into the final, we'll start wrapping it up and everything like that. And thank you again for coming on and being a guest. It has been an absolute pleasure having you. This is going to be a banger of an episode. Where can people find you if they want to come check out some of your content?
I was like, what? Am I giving my location? Like,
yes, you're exactly. I need you to drop a pin right now from Google Maps, and we're gonna have Zach edit that in. So like right here.
No, so I go off of Pixel or Pixel _ for pretty much all of my socials. So that's PIIXXELLE. A lot of unnecessary letters just because everything else was already taken, and I was so hard stuck on Pixel because I wanted micropixel to be like given to my daughter when she's old enough, and then by then she's gonna determine that I'm not cool enough and she's not gonna want to be associated with me. But yeah, so you can find me there.
Streaming schedule, that's another big thing.
So about that,
Generalized. Yeah.
Currently my streaming schedule is Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 6 to 9 p.m. Especially if I do the retrain if I do the retraining, obviously there will be a break there. I will be going to technical training, to reclass and everything like that. There's also, if I don't, there's talks of, maybe some venturing overseas. So as of right now, it's Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 6 to 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time.
I was gonna say PST.
But and then I'm also planning on doing more YouTube content as well.
And
it's mainly on Twitch.
Gotcha. And the YouTube is underscore
I
Pixel, or is
believe
it
so.
just Pixel? Okay. I think Zach should be able to kind of put it in the details.
I have the same picture for everything. If you just search it, I'm there.
Gotcha. Well, I'm not going to take up too much more of your time. Thank you so much again for coming and hanging out with us. I hope you guys, I know I'm going to talk to you before the holidays, but for those of you, if this is the last time we see you before the holiday season, happy holidays. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out with us and listening to the podcast. If you like it, go ahead and drop a sub here on the channel if you're watching from YouTube. Follow if you're watching from Spotify. I think you follow on Spotify. I haven't really watched our podcast on Spotify, but I think you can follow the podcast channel. Yeah, so make sure you can come back and get updates every time we update a new episode. But again, we'd love to kind of give a shout out to our friends and partners over at GamerSubs. Go ahead and head over to gamersubs.gg. Use code Valkyrie at checkout to get 10% off, as well as the brand new merch drop on Acquire. By the way, the new jerseys. Yes. Oh my God,
are they down? Or are they out now?
They're on the website now. They are amazing.
Paydays tomorrow. Paydays tomorrow. I'm gonna be broke.
So I know they came out with two new jerseys. They came out with a black and then a white version. And then they came out with a brand new glacial jacket, which is just insane. I can't wait. I think there's a couple more shirts out there as well. Mitch and Key worked amazingly hard on those designs, and it has paid off. I think this is some of the best merch we've ever had.
Shout out to Mitch and Key.
Head on over to Acquire, or if you just want to go to our Twitter, there should be a link to the merch shop there. Use code Valkyrie to get 10% off of your entire order there as well. But ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching and listening. Have a good rest of your evening. Happy holidays, and we'll see each and every single one of you in the next one. Have a good night.